Hello, Grand Harbor members. We're out here on the putting green. You're going to get into an area now that kind of, very much excites me as a golf professional. This is 50% or higher in some cases of your score when you play golf. I've been here since March. Honestly, don't see a whole lot of people on the putting green practicing. This is really where you should be getting your speeds every day before you tee off. They're not always the same exact speed every single day. Everything's dependent upon the weather, what we're doing on the golf course. So spend a couple minutes before you tee off, get the speeds of the greens. But I'm a little bit of a, I would term myself as a different thinker as a golf professional. I don't take someone's word as gospel when it comes to the world of teaching. I'm a bit of a math guy in physics. I like that stuff. So I tend to experiment a little bit. You'll find that with me all the time. I tend to not sit still when it comes to the golf swing, when it comes to putting. So I look at putting a little bit different than what most golf professionals would. I've also been fortunate to teach a bunch of people up in New England. I was kind of known as the putting guru up in New England, so I had my golf professionals come see me. I worked with a few tour players over the years. So this is something that kind of is really near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to teach you something a little bit different that you probably haven't heard of about putting. So this has to do with, angles, so lie angles. When you buy a putter, the putter sits on the ground flat, and everybody kind of comes with a stock lie angle. It's typically 71 degrees. You can't have more than 80 degrees, so it has to have at least 10 degrees of bend to it. So this is my Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter. This is called a lie angle board. So this angle on the ground is 71 degrees. It matches my putter, again, because it's an everyday average lie angle. What I want people to understand is there's been a real bad misnomer over the years through some of the ways that Golf Digest, golf magazines, just the way some of the professionals talk about putting. I think it's a little confusing. It leads to some misnomers in the world of putting. And there's a lot of stuff that talks about, taking the putter back and, opening and closing the face of the putter. And I will tell you that that's one of the worst things you can possibly do in the world of putting. You're adding an element to putting that doesn't need to be there. I will tell you on your camera, you can have it on YouTube, and I'll tell every golf professional out there in the world, there is no such thing as face rotation in putting. Okay, and I'm going to prove that to you here on my lie board. My Scotty Cameron happens to be pretty flat in the back. Okay, so when I come over here, John, I'm going to have you kind of come over and follow me here on the lie board. When I come over here on this lie board, I put my putter down. You're going to see, John, can you see the back end of that right there? That sits on the lie board. When I take this putter back, okay, as the putter swings on an arc, this is considered an arc right here. As the putter swings on an arc, if the putter is going to work up in the air, so up the plane board, it also must work inward, because there's my starting point. I'm further inside. That's an upward and inward movement. But what it doesn't require me to do is to go back on a plane and rotate the face. This putter should stay square to the angle or the arc that it's swinging on. It comes back to square, it releases through, and it stays square. My putter doesn't twist off of this board. So when I'm going to take a couple of practice putting strokes, and hopefully John can get me here on camera, as I take a couple of practice putting strokes, you're going to notice the back end of my putter right here. As it rides up this lie angle board, I think everybody would agree that putter is working inside. But what you would not see is the putter coming off the board like that, twisting. It's going to go up the board squarely, go back to square, and as I release the putter, releasing the putter means go up the arc of the putter, go up the angle of the board. But that doesn't mean I have to release the face. I don't have to do this, twist the face or open the face through the hitting area. So if I hit a putt here on the board and I keep it as simple as I can, as my putter works up, it must work in. I think everybody would agree with that looking at this. Up equals in. What I don't need is the extra element of face rotation, because it makes it ever impossible to square the putter face. So here we go. We're going to get yourself set up right here. Should be set up nice and square the hole. I'm going to take my putting stroke back and through, riding the board. Oh, and I missed it a little bit right. Good putt. I'll take that all day long. Again, watch the putter this time just ride up and down the plane board. It's going to ride up the board with no face rotation. It's going to go through. I'm going to hit and make contact. If I hit it, it might go in. But what this allows me to do is read putts better. People think they can't read putts. Well, you might be a great green reader, but if you can't get the ball started on line where you want, the green reading is irrelevant at that point. So this is a different way to look at putting. Putting is nothing more than a vertical inclined plane. It's taking a 90-degree angle, and I'm setting it at an angle like this. That's called a vertical inclined plane. It's a plane that works up in the air. Well, now my putter's got to work up in the air. When my putter works up in the air, it must work inside. Goes back to square, does the same thing on the other side. It works up and to the left, and it has nothing to do with face rotation at all. So if you can come out here and hit some putts, this board's available to anybody, anytime you want to use it. That's why I built it. Come up and use the plane board, hit some putts, and we'll show you how this works. It'll work on your putting every time. Keep things simple. If I eliminate face angle rotation, I've got a much better chance of getting my ball online. I've got a much better chance of making putts. I'll tell you, there's two things you can control in putting. Blessed that I got to play a lot with Brad Faxon when I was working up in New England, and he is, to me, the best putter I've ever seen roll a golf ball. It's really kind of freaky to watch him roll a golf ball. Two things I learned that I think are dynamic, and it changed my world of putting and changed my mental side of the game. You can control two things in putting. You can take this to the bag. You can control whether or not the ball rolls end over end, okay, by putting forward spin or back spin in a golf ball. And you can only control that in the first foot because the ball definitely gets airborne, okay? And then your second thing is, can I make the ball roll end over end, meaning with no side spin? Outside of that, everything is outside of your control. So if you learn to give up control in putting, you make more putts. Well, in order to do that, I need to get the ball to roll on line. And as long as I get my ball to roll on line, sure, I'm not going to make every putt in the world, but at least I have a better chance of making those putts. So again, when you come out here to the putting green and want to use this vertical incline board that we've created here, you're certainly welcome to use it. This will help teach you how to take away face rotation. If you struggle, there's a part 2 to this. I can get very crazy with it. I actually own a putting robot. Does the same thing as this, except the putter is grabbed by the machine and it doesn't allow you to have face rotation. So it really gives you a better sense of what putting should feel like. So we start here, the easiest portion, I think, less confusing. So again, putting is a vertical incline plane. If you want to come out and try it, try it. If we need to get you on the machine, we'll get you on the machine. But you're going to see us out here a lot with this vertical board. Myself, Ben, and you'll see me out here occasionally with the robot. I love to putt with the robot. But this is the part of the game you can make up the most strokes. So stop hitting a lot of golf balls. It's great for you. But the reality is you're gonna get a better score by coming on here and putting more often. If you got any questions, see one of your PGA professionals. Turn it off.